So yeah, I have, you know my style. I have quite a few videos like this, and they'll probably be a little bit kind of on the sultry, kind of sexy side. And I do like my dark florals and the kind of gothic style fragrances. So this was pretty predicted, wasn't it? And for the summer, well, goths go out in the summer. It's normally somewhere like this, away from that pesky sunlight and that, isn't it? Really. We all know that kind of aesthetic. There's something a bit kind of not necessarily terrifying, but dark and mysterious about the fragrances. And some of the florals might be a bit tenuous in it, but it is what it is. And it's not one that needs a long introduction. It's quite self-explanatory, isn't it? Again, it's not really summer. It might look bright, but it's pretty brisk. So yeah, we'll get cracking on. So first up, we're going to start with the most obvious one. Again, summer nights, okay? It doesn't have to be during a hot summer day when goths are not going to be out, does it? But Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. This is, like we know, it's rose. It's a little bit of a kind of red winey feel, the truffle, the slight chocolatey patchouli. The rose is very dark and mysterious, and it's got this kind of earthy, warm feel. And again, this one is always going to be here because it does have that kind of, you could have it as that kind of goth look, couldn't you, really? Some sort of, dark hair, long leather jackets and boots, and someone who looks a little bit kind of dangerous and risque, someone who's going to seduce you with their eyes and that kind of thing. And it's one of them, again, it draws you in, and it's actually quite perfect I think I've mentioned this before, for the woods. A little bit of kind of the little fleck of an oudiness and the earthy patchouli and the truffles very much smells like a kind of dark journey through some dark, mysterious woods on a summer evening. As you move into late summer, you'll get the truffles and the mushrooms and stuff kind of growing around there. So yeah, it's in here. This is going to be a very brief kind of a video. So Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Next on the list is another kind of darker, heavier one, and that's from Guerlain, and that's Le Petit Robe Noir Black Perfecto. Now primarily this is rose, it's licorice, it's kind of got these sweet kind of feels in there, but it's very much got the darkness from them notes with a lovely, beautiful, smooth leather. And it's also got this slight fleck of the rose. I wouldn't say the rose is particularly strong. It's more the kind of powderiness that mixes with the cherry and the darker notes. Nothing really leaps out in this one, and it can go quite musky, especially in the heat. And this again is what you'd imagine someone who's like a dark, mysterious librarian by day, dressed all kind of demure in their cardigans, and they have mysterious pink or blue hair, and then on an evening they'll be all dressed up with all the kind of gothic books stole from the library, and they just smell of this kind of beautiful, smooth, clean, dark leather with that kind of cherry enticing you in, and the powdery rose with the musks, and that again kind of, it's very beautiful, and it's very easy going. Don't get me wrong, this is not a big dark beast, but it's one perfect for a summer night because of that, because it's not too dark and not too heavy. So that's Le Petit Robe Noir Black Perfecto from Guerlain. Then we have Miss Woman, which will be my kind of gothy dark Mrs. Havisham-esque kind of fragrance, in her early days, just after the wedding that never happened. She's in her black lace ripped wedding dress. She's got flowers everywhere from the wedding, you know, vases full of beautiful bright narcissus flowers and carnations and lilies. I'm telling you, there's definitely lily in this one, and they're all everywhere. There's kind of some incense burning. She's not got the curtains open, so it's very dark, and slowly she starts wearing dark big makeup and playing quite, you know, heavy, hard goth rock music. She gets more and more miserable, and then flowers are there fermenting in the vases and rotting, and that's ultimately what Myth's Woman is. It's like all these flowers slowly starting to turn. It's got that kind of vintage feel about it because of the, you know, the things like the carnation. There's a kind of mysterious air about it, and it's beautiful. And when she invites you back to her place, it smells of this, the kind of stagnant vase water, and these mysterious beautiful flowers which are now drooping and looking quite magnificent. So that one is a Myth's Woman from Amouage. Next is Oud Satin Mood from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Had to be in here, didn't it, really? Yes, this definitely is one to rock on a summer evening, I think. It's definitely dark and brooding. To most people it's rose with this kind of beautiful thin veil of oud going through it. Obviously the woods, the rose is quite powdery, but to me I also get like a vein of purple, dark violet, which kind of knocks it that kind of way to me. This is a kind of distinguished gentleman in his steampunk Victoriana kind of leather top hat and leather tails. He roams the streets of London at night looking for ladies of the night to buy flowers for and eat chocolates. He's not going to cut them up, he's not that guy, but it kind of suits that whole style, and it kind of smells of wealth and style and sophistication as well, and it also fills wherever he's walking. The whole atmosphere is these kind of dark violets and dark woods with a kind of welcoming, come to me, come talk to me kind of powdery rose thing about it. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's one of the most popular from the house. I admit it's very strong. At one point I might get a travel size because I don't think I'd ever wear an entire bottle of this. But that is Oud Satin Mood from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Then we have The Promise from Frederic Malle. Now this one is not an easy love. It's not a fragrance you're going to warm to straight away. But this again could be Snow White, you know. Things didn't go quite according to plan, and she's sat there rocking with the basket of apples that have now started to rot and are smelling a little bit sharp, and she's sticking her fingers in the thorns of the roses, and all them smells are kind of mixing together, and it's getting stronger and stronger until some... Is Snow White a woodcut? Why not? Let's just put a woodcutter in it. I don't know, I don't remember. Until some woodcutter breaks into a house because nobody's seen her for 2 years, and she's there again in a ripped dress that's all moth-eaten, and her makeup's been running down her face, and the woodcutter's hit by this smell of these sharp turning apples, and the rose, and there's rose petals and dark black blood because it's oxidized all over the floor, and it's unbelievably kind of alluring and irresistible. So he picks her up in his arms, and yeah, he saves her and sticks her in the bath, and then they live happily ever after in this little goth hut. I think I'm getting a bit carried away with these, but that is Promise from Frederic Malle. It's kind of a sharp apple. It's a more likeable apple than what I'm used to. It does actually smell like a turned apple, with all the rose and everything that's in there, and the musks, and the ambroxan kind of really pushes this one out. So that's Promise from Frederic. Next is from Kayali, Burning Cherry something or other. Lovefest Burning Cherry, that's it. And this one could be, again, we'll go to some forest witch. She's sat there, she's been picking cherries for the day to make love potions, and the incense is burning all around her little spot in the forest, and there's beautiful kind of burning woods as well in the background, and the cherry just lingers and fills the air with these intoxicating potions that she's making to ensnare men to do what she wants them to do, anything, to go picking these cherries for her so she doesn't have to. And there's a kind of little bit of a boozy thing. She's quite a drinker, and yes, she's cackling away, but that smell of the burning cherry incense and the rose, which is the floral in this, by the way, from a long distance, kind of brought towards it, and then they're trapped there forever as her slaves. So that's Kayali's Lovefest Burning Cherry. We then have Anubis from Papillon Perfumery. This one is such a kind of obvious kind of goth one, isn't it? You know, you're searching through this undiscovered pyramid, and you're walking through, and there's all the dry air, all the kind of dry spices and smells of ancient incense, and it's all kind of dark, and you're just walking along this torch-lit corridor. You can smell there's still some immortelle flowers growing in there, because they grow forever, you know, because they're immortal, see. And that's kind of the main floral in this one. And as you approach the Queen's chamber, you push some levers and it opens up, and coming towards you is an ancient pharaoh. She's covered, she's dressed all in black, covered in tattoos, and wrapped in leather. And she's like, "Hello, I am the ancient pharaoh. I don't know why I speak like I'm from Eastern Europe, but I do." And she beckons you in, and you wonder how does she look so young? How are these immortelle flowers still growing anyway? You get in there, she pours you some mysterious juice which tastes like mead, and the air is filled with that incense and them spices, and you start to feel woozy. And then when you wake up, she's got a tube in your veins, and she's drinking it, and she's feeding all the flowers with your blood, and that is how she stays so young and energetic. So that's Anubis from Papillon Perfumery. Next we have Lucrethia from Canto or Canto. This one is based around Lucrethia, the poisoner, apparently. Well, there's not much kind of evidence for that. This one basically is a kind of more dark, sultry black opium, and it does have that. It has a little hint of the coffee. This one perhaps has more of the pear in the opening, but it's a bit darker, it's smoother, it's bigger. Obviously jasmine is the flower here, and yes, so this very dashing young Italian man with black lipstick and his perfect eyebrows, draped in a beautiful Renaissance kind of red and black outfit, is like, "Would you like to come for a little coffee with me, sir or madam?" And he invites you into his little crypt, which is under an ancient manor house, a great Roman villa. And in there you can see there are people tied to the walls. They seem to be enjoying it quite a lot, and he goes past the whipping them. "Oh yes, oh yes." And he says, "Oh, would you like to come into my world?" I make you gelato, I make you coffee, and he makes you this intoxicating, slightly boozy coffee. There's a little bit of pear liqueur in there, and these jasmine flowers that he wafts under your nose to make you kind of go, yes, yes, anything, sir. So you spend forever in the dungeon with this lovely, handsome Italian chap. That is Lucrethia from Canto or Vicanto. Next is sorry, two Amouages, but this is the darkest, most gothic floral there is, really. Interlude Woman. So this is you're trapped in ancient China, and you come across this tribe of people who, again, all dress in black, and they tell you that they're related to the first emperor, and they tend to his tomb. And they take you in there, and it's filled with all these beautiful, mysterious, dark fruits you've never seen before, and these mysterious dark flowers, like dark pansies and dark immortelle flowers again, and this black kiwi fruit, which they squeeze into a drink with some honey, and you take that down, and again, you're kind of stuck there, and they tell you all the mysteries of the universe, and that you need to go forward and release all the night people to rule over the earth again. I'm suspecting there's a bit of mercury in that drink as well, from that great river that flows by the ancient emperor's tomb. So basically, it's a heck of a lot of dark florals, a weird kiwi thing. I think there is a mortelle in it, giving it that unusual floral feel. It's a magnificent fragrance. So that's Interlude Woman from Amouage. And finally, we're in early 1940s France with this one, Chanel Misia. You've been going to this beautiful kind of place, like the Moulin Rouge, where all the dancers are. And it always smells of the most magnificent powdered violets and lovely leather. It's more of an underground one. The occupiers haven't discovered it yet, and it's just filled with debauchery and fun and alcohol. But as you slowly get to know one of the dancers, turns out she's actually an ancient French vampire, and she's telling you there's a great dark evil that are coming towards them, and we need to prepare. So she covers you in all of her makeup, and you're transformed into an assassin, goth, murderous dancing queen to assassinate all the evil people that are coming. And nobody can resist the smell of the rose, iris and violet. However, it doesn't work. There's a bomb drops on it, the sunlight breaks through, and everybody in there turns into this beautiful violet dust, gone forever. So that's Misia, or Misia, or whatever, from Chanel, and that is the final one. So I don't know what happened there, as I kind of went through this one, it turned into more abstract, ridiculous stories. It's how a lot of my videos are, they have plans, but sometimes it's so boring just going, well, this one smells of this and this. So yeah, that's it, isn't it? I say they are gothic florals. I've certainly painted a really naff image of them all, haven't I? So what about yourself? What kind of gothic floral fragrances do you wear? Do they take you to magic places? Are you somebody who can't get enough of a dark floral, like my good self, really? That's it. The video shocked me, so there's no point asking any further questions about it. It was a bit odd, wasn't it? So yeah, just let me know what your favourite dark florals were, or what you'd wear if you were an ancient Egyptian mummy living off people's blood. Thanks folks, bye.